Welcome back, Axe fans. We're back in the woods in a new year, 2019. God, I hope this one's better than 2018, which sucked balls in a lot of ways. But it's cool. We're thinking positive, right? That's why I'm out here doing positive stuff, right? My self-care and my mental health and such, right? Be in the woods, chopping wood with cool axes. This is the final group. This is the final qualifying bracket, so to speak, for the axe arena, right? We had 27 axes. This will be 27 axes that we're going up here. And then from each one, we had a winner, right? You've seen the other groups. Had a winner that takes it down to 9, and we're going to have some final evaluations on the 9 here coming up pretty soon. But pretty nice day. It's not snowing. It's not raining. We had a lot of crappy rain. It's just been horrible. So this group's kind of fun. Last group, kind of a catch-all for some special axes that I wanted to try and really have a good group for them. All right, so what we have today are short-handled double bits. All right, short-handled double bits is what we got. All right, we had a group in here. We had really long-handled, big classic double bits, Swamper patterns, Michigan patterns, and such. Right. So today we have the shorty double bits, right? The short-handled double bits, totally different feel. All right, great axes, really interesting. And all the handles are 30 inches or shorter, okay? But some full weight heads on those shorter handles, right? This one right here, this is a 1934 Sager chemical axe, right? 3-pounder, Michigan pattern basically. That's some sweet minimalist leather for that guy. Look at that, Sager chemical axes. Super famous, really great. And the only axe out there I know of, collectible axe that kind of numbered their editions, right? So every year they put the year on there. It makes them great. They go all the way back to like 1909 and just went all the way up into the 40s. I don't know if I've seen some 50s, maybe there's some 50s. Somewhere in the 50s, Sager kind of petered out and you don't get them anymore. But this is the 1934, just classic little, just a little bit bigger than a cruiser, 30-inch hickory handle, hand carved by a friend of mine in Maine. Super fun. On the heavy end, Brutalis Maximus, right? As far as short handles go, a 4-pound Holtzbrook double bit. Basically a scrapyard rescue. This thing was in bad shape, okay? Bad shape. Still kind of got some ugly shaped bits here, but it was what I could do, all right, to bring it back. Put it on a 30-inch white oak handle, all right? We had some white oak handles in here. Had at least one, I know. Really interesting features. A lot of fun as a handle wood. It's really cool. All right. So this, seems like an oversized axe, 4 pounds on 30 inches, but it's surprisingly fun to swing. It is surprisingly fun to swing. And it just wouldn't be a complete axe arena if you did not have a cruiser axe. All right. And we brought my Arvika cruiser. A little fancy. What's a cruiser? Cruiser is just a mini double bit. It's a mini double bit. All right. Classically, they were 2.5 pounds, all right, which is just, basically the size of a boy's axe, but made into a double bit. This is an Arvika, a pre-Holtzbrook Arvika. Remember, you can get Arvika 5-star axes today. It is the surviving descendant of a very proud and very great Swedish axe company called Arvika. Okay, made their own axes, made axes like this, made little cruisers, back in the 30s and 40s and before, and then Holtzbrook bought them somewhere in the 60s, and the Arvika 5-star continued on as a line of axes, but the rest kind of were left aside. So, but this is a Arvika cruiser, kind of painted up kind of nice, put my Nerny label on it, Spendy Sven. It wasn't cheap, but how about that? How is that not cool? Cruisers are cool. They're one of the coolest axes there is. All right, I snazzed this one up and put a label on it called Spendy Sven. It's not even that spendy. I mean, this is less than half the Benchmade knives out there. Really, I'm into this maybe 125 bucks. Okay, which in axe land is like spendy. Well, you spent a lot of money on that. Called the Spendy Sven. Yeah, all right. But that's just awesome, right? None of these axes today have particularly aggressive grinds on them. I think this is 27.5, all right, on the cruiser. Right, nice and conservative. I think the Sager Chemical's got fatty on it, 32.5. All right, a bruiser. And I believe that the sharpest angle or the most aggressive angle on the Holtzbrook is 25. All right, so we're not down there in that tested metal, and the wood's not even that cold today. But this should just be a lot of fun. Getting to the end here, I've come back to this spot a couple times, and kind of running out of wood. that I'm comfortable cutting. I'm trying to be conscious, you know, of the ecological situations. Cut dead wood or live shoots off trees that are going to be fine, you know, without the stuff I'm chopping. So I think, you know, we're going to just forego the felling test today. All right, it'll still be fair. We'll have 3 axes because bucking's it. Bucking's what it's all about. That's what the 90% of what you're going to do in the axe is going to be in the bucking plane, you know, vertical, chopping from above. This is one of the first axes I ever bought, you know, as like a collectible. Like I just saw this and thought it was great. File sharpened, pretty sharp, not very aggressive angles. Let's just start bucking some wood and let's see how everything chops. Huh? What do you think?
It was over and Mr. Lincoln had won. I drew my Navy wages and returned to my home, Sullivan County, where my grandfather came. Soil rocky and skies always rain. I remember Grandpa's stories of when he was a kid. Bison in the lowlands and elk on the ridge. Well, now they're all gone and a new hunt has begun to find the Tiadaghton and make the sawmills hum. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's coming, I can smell it all around, and my soul's being tempted by that high water sound. Up on the Loyal Sock, well, it's straight and it's tall. There's pine up there like you ain't never saw. Only brave loggers bear the winter's cold. The snow falls heavy on the Appalachian fold. Oh, up in the morning at 5 a.m. throw down some biscuits, some coffee and ham. A 12-hour shift on the Teamster crew, skidding logs to the river, through the ice and snow. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's a-comin', I can smell it all around. My soul's being tempted by that high water sound. We lash our logs together with hickory and oak. No rope, no iron, just pins and bows. A sweep at the front and back and a shack for the crew. 20,000 board feet, ready to tie loose. When the ice finally breaks and the water's good and high, we'll head down the Loyal Sock, our crew of 5. One day on the raft, down to Montoursville. We hit the Susquehanna where the water's smooth and still. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's coming, I can smell it all around, and my soul's being tempted by that high water sound. Once we get to Marietta, we sell off our logs. $100 split by 5 river hogs. We head back north, walking all the way. One hand on your knife and the other on your pay. Well, if it's a good season, we'll have 2 or 3 more runs. Then this year's over and the summer begun. I'll watch as the rust, it builds on my tools, and long for the day I'm back with my logging crew. All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe and 80 trees to fall. The spring, it's coming, I can smell it all around. My soul's being tempted by that high water sound.
Okay. I'm just barely over a cold. I don't think I'm really over the cold. I don't think I'm over the cold. Oh, that was labor. That was labor. And we're losing sunlight. I mean, we got maybe 10 minutes of sunlight before I lose the light, so that's no good for filming on my iPhone. Today, short double bits, I tell you what. Okay, didn't feel like I was getting the power out of this extra weight that I probably should have. You know, maybe I'm not chopping on my back. I didn't feel very good today. Did not feel accurate. And you know, just this was more of a struggle. Okay, white oat handle felt no flex. Okay, I had a very long white oat handle. Oh, okay. White oat. I can barely talk. White oak. I had a very long white oak handle, and I think the very first group A, when I started this magical journey months ago, and there was a little bit of flex in it. It's 34 inches, single bit. A little flex, it was fun, whippy. It was a good time. I want to use that axe more. None of that in the 30-inch no bit, none at all. Felt solid all the way through, but just was not my fave, all right. Saiga Chemical, love this axe, but sort of felt in between. I don't know if that makes sense. Felt like, you know, it wasn't as powerful as the 4-pounder, wasn't as nimble and agile as the Cruiser. So as much as I think this is awesome, almost like a throwing axe, really. Maybe I'll make this a throwing axe. It's just, this is sweet. Just didn't distinguish itself either way. I really liked it. It just didn't, you know, it wasn't one or the other to kind of carry it over top. And I'm actually surprised. I did not think this would happen. I did not. I suspected that the big HB would win. But today, with the wood we got, I guess how I was feeling swinging, man, it just felt like with this much lighter, shorter Cruiser axe. This is not a big axe. These are not big axes. 2.5 pounds. That is not a big head. And it's distributed on 2 bits. Really more of a camp axe and boys axe. I felt like I was chopping the best with the old Arvika. Spendy Sven. Worth every penny, I guess. I'm surprised because I do not think Spendy Sven has a snowball's chance in hell against some of the other axes that have won their groups that you've seen. It's going to have a long, long haul to the final podium, I think, for Spendy. But it's going to get its chance. Nice. That was cool. Hope you enjoyed it.
All I need is my crosscut saw, my double bit axe, and 80 trees to fall.